Hey guys, so today I'm going to teach you guys how to fish pretty much anywhere in Texas. But before that, I have to show you what you have to bring along. So, most importantly is a Texas fishing license because without it, it's illegal and the game wardens can come and you'll get in a mess of trouble. So then, I'll just go down the line of stuff I always bring while I'm fishing. So, I always bring sunscreen because you're spending a lot of time out in the sun, and skin cancer is actually pretty common with fishermen. And then I always bring my phone just in case I never know what's going to happen and I like to keep in contact with everyone. Of course, I bring a rod and reel, and I would recommend for beginners a spinning reel just like this because it's much easier to use compared to this is called a bait caster. And I also bring a first aid kit because you never know what can happen. You can fall or cut yourself or anything while fishing, especially with hooks. It's important to keep that disinfected and everything. I also bring a snake bite kit, and I hopefully never have to use that, but I come in contact with snakes a lot, especially on the lakes here around Austin. I always bring a hat just because, again, spending a lot of time out in the sun. I also have a pair of polarized sunglasses, which are extremely helpful while fishing. You don't have to have them, but I highly recommend it. I also bring a good pair of pliers. Those are anti-corrosive, so they don't rust with the water. I also bring a knife because you never know when you're going to need it. And lastly, I always bring a measuring board because if you're keeping any fish, you don't want them to be too short because, again, a game warden can come and you can get a huge fine and you can get all your stuff taken away. So next I'm going to show you guys some lures. So there are two types of lures. So this is considered a hard body lure. It's not squishy at all. This is actually a top water, which means it stays on top of the water like I explained later in the video. And then this is what I catch all my fish on during the video. This is a soft-bodied lure, and it's kind of squishy. It's made of plastic. And this one is what's called Texas rigged, where the hook isn't exposed, so you don't get hung up on anything. And in the video, or when I'm fishing around a lot of grass, and that's very important so I don't have to be reeling in 20 pounds of grass. So in this video I'm teaching you guys how to target bass, and bass pretty much eat anything. They eat ducks, other bass, frogs, mice, other fish, and the lures I have to imitate fish are these. So these are the hard body lures. They're not squishy at all. They got these lips on them so they can dive. These are my frog lures, so these just glide on top of the surface and the bass attack them. This is what's called a jig, and that bounces on the bottom to lure the bass in if they're deep. This is my bag of just soft lures like worms, lizards, frogs, grubs. Pretty much anything that's in the water has been made into a lure. And then I also have in here all my tackle, all my hooks for the soft lures. So these are weights, and then these are the hooks I use to put in the lures to catch bass. But yeah, that's pretty much all my tackle for bass, and that gets the job done. I'm at Divine Lake Park in Leander, and I'm gonna be showing you guys how to target largemouth bass. And as you can see, there's a lot of grass everywhere, which means you're gonna be wanting to use one of two baits. So the baits you're gonna want to use are gonna be a weedless little bait somehow, just because it has to get through this grass and not get snagged, or a topwater bait, which is gonna float on top of the grass. So it's gonna be like this frog right here. And all the bass in here are pretty small, so you can't keep any of them. The limit for Texas is 14 inches, which is actually a pretty big bass. So yeah, I'll show you guys how it's done. Alright, so the frog didn't work. I got a few strikes on it, but nothing. Because they get stuck in all the grass. So I'll show you guys how to release it. So when you release it, you don't want to just chunk it out there, and because you know that might kill the fish because they'll get in shock and just die. And so what you want to do is you want to gently put the fish in the water, keep your thumb in its mouth, and when it grabs on to your tongue like that, that usually means it's ready to go. Like you just saw it, just swam off. And the next fish I'll catch, I'll put my camera in the water so you guys can get a better view. Alright, so wind got pretty bad. Fishing's not really fun anymore, but caught another one. So, like I said, thumb in the mouth, just gently put them in the water. Oh! I know, I'm not even wearing my glasses. Uh-oh. Quick release. Oh my gosh. The bass is flying in the wind. The thing that I said was gonna work